Aptos just came out on exchanges, on major exchanges, just a couple of days ago, and the price has tanked by more than 47%. So, is this a great time for you to invest? Watch today's analysis of Aptos to find out that. I'll tell you what's great, what's good, what are the risks, and what should you really be doing at this point of time. So, let's start with this, right? Now, what is Aptos? Now, Aptos is a layer 1 blockchain, right? Like several layer 1 blockchains out there, several of those that we have already analyzed on our channel. Aptos is solving the blockchain trilemma of speed, scalability, cost effectiveness, and so on. And they are trying to do that in their own different way. Um, we did a few analysis of other tokens which are doing it. You can go and check that out as well. Now, Aptos happens to be doing that, and they launched two days ago just to do that. The first thing that is great about them is the team, right? They have a great team. Right? If you go and check out their founders, you can see that they were ex Meta employees who were involved in crypto projects within Meta, and they went on to raise a boatload of money from some of the best investors out there to create Aptos. They raised it early this year. I believe it was in April or May when they quit, and they began to do this, and the crypto is today listed. They have a great list of investors, right? That's the next big thing, right? We saw they raised $200 million back in March from Anderson Horowitz, Tiger Global, Multicoin, etc. Those are some of the biggest investors out there. In addition to them, if you go to the tokenomics section, you will see that they also raised funding from several other big investors, such as Coinbase Ventures, FTX Ventures, Binance Labs, and so on. So that's a lot of big names backing a single project, right? Now that makes me very curious, and usually I look for investors, who the investors are, because typically when you know there are some great investors, then you know that they would have done some due diligence, and you don't have to do that. Anderson Horowitz, for instance, has the highest strike rate of their investments becoming $1 billion crypto projects, and that is another good thing that I see. The metrics look good so far, right? Although I'm a little concerned why they look so good, because there aren't any apps on it already, but they seem to have more than 6.9 million transactions. It average TPS around 10. We saw blockchains which were launched like months ago, and they barely have crossed an average TPS of 1, and these guys have an average TPS of 10. That's incredible. So far so good. What else is good? Well, large number of validators. We saw one of the major problems with a number of other layer ones was that they had very limited set of validators, and that's not something I was very happy with. Right? If you look at this, they have about 102 validators right now, which is great. Many layer ones don't even have, let's say not even in double digits, but these guys have somewhere in triple digits already, and that's a good thing. Documentation is detailed, right? Now, a project that's coming out like this so early, they need to have great documentation so that more developers can come on board, they can start building, the community can start helping each other, and so on. So if you go and check out their documentation, it seems pretty detailed. That's a very good sign that they want to engage with more developers and get them to build stuff. Community looks strong, right? So that's something that I'm very happy about. Their white paper is good. Their community on Discord has about 143 members on their Discord server, more than 22,000 online currently. So the community looks strong. Tokenomics. Now here I have a few things to probably look at. One is they have capped their supply. They have not capped their supply. The genesis was 1 billion tokens, and it is continuously rising. It's an inflationary coin right now at 7% a year, and over a period of time it's going to gradually increase, as you see here. Most of the investors who invested, they have something like a 4-year lock-in, 4-year vesting period rather, with some of the first lock-ins vesting expiring about a year from now. That means this 2024 mark here is when you'll see some of the coins that are given out to these investors, and now they can probably sell them. This is something that you need to watch out for, but as of now you're at least a year away from that, right? So if you want to think of buying in now, then this could be one of those reasons why the tokenomics might be okay. But in the long run, this is a very inflationary crypto. Unless demand sustains, I don't think price will sustain. Now, the next thing, right? What are the risks? First one is read the fine print. Right? When you look at the tokenomics, all sounds great, but read the fine print. They say, I know most of them would have said this, but in particular in Aptos, I believe they hadn't initially released any tokenomics, only after some pressure they released it. What they are saying is that all these are subject to change without notice. And that's not something that you as a blockchain should really say, right? Because when you decide that, hey, you're getting so much, like an investor is getting 13%, or a team is getting, community is getting 51%, this is something that is like hard coded written in there, and you can't really change that, or you should not be changing that. Because if you change that, you lose the trust of the community, and that is something that I feel is a great risk. Then the fact that this is a very crowded space. We saw so many blockchains which are trying to do exactly this. So it's a very crowded space. We probably have more L1s today than DApps which can operate on these L1s, useful DApps that can operate on these L1s. So that's a big risk for me. No activity yet. Right? We are seeing enormous transactions, but there aren't any projects yet, not even one, right? Except for maybe Aptos name services. I haven't seen anything yet. So where is all this transactions going? I'm not really sure. Right? That's something that you need to be extremely careful about. Now, what should you do? Well, the first thing obviously that you should do is do your own research, right? Please do your own research, especially with cryptos like this that have released like 2 days ago, where there is very little information and a lot of people trying to sell it to you. So please be careful of that and do your own research. Evaluate the valuation. Right? This is very, very important, and I'm telling you this because today the market cap is about 938 million, close to $1 billion. Fully diluted valuation is about 7.2 billion, and that is, I believe, they're considering like something like a billion tokens or something. 7.2 billion is an enormous valuation for a crypto project that has nothing, right? It's literally a little better than on paper idea, right? They have no app on it, so 7.2 billion seems a lot to me. So that is something that you need to be honestly very careful of. So evaluate the valuation. They have, of course, the price has fallen by about 47% since the launch, right? If you look at, if you look at just the price, what has happened since its launch, you would see that it has crashed roughly about 48%, right? From its all-time high of about 13, it has now crashed to $7.13. That's a huge crash. Maybe it'll crash further, so watch out for that. Then consider a basket of L1s, because we saw so many L1s coming out, and I believe eventually we'll reach like an Android and iOS kind of a scenario where you'll maybe have 2 or maximum of 3, maybe 5 blockchains, not more than that. Which are the winners, we don't know, but maybe bet on all the horses to be on the safer side. So consider a basket of good L1s. And lastly, if you liked our analysis, then do subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell your friends about it. Stay tuned for more such amazing videos. Welcome to the Wave Crypto Club.